Oh, hey, everybody. In Hawaii, we like to eat. This is a katsumoko with kimchi fried rice in it. This is done by a restaurant up here in the Washington area called Kona Kitchen. Really good stuff. All right, let's go on to episode 3, shall we? Mm. Aloha. Hey, it's Gavin again. So, in episode 2, I talked about something very personal about how AI didn't replace my thinking, it only amplified it. And today I want to pick up right where we left off because the arc isn't a one time lesson. It's a way of learning in this new world of technology that we're in. But by the way, for those of you following the technical side of this series, our agentic workflow track starts in episode 3. But before we get there, I want to continue explaining the learning patterns that made it all possible for me. So, here's the academic part of this session that's very, very important to understand. So, AI is a machine, obviously. AI responds to the way you interact with it, your questions, and it shapes its answers based on your questions. As your questions evolve, AI's responses evolve with them. And this is what we talked about in the previous session. That back and forth pattern over time, well, that's your arc. It's not magic, it's not mysterious, it's just how interactive learning works. Here's the misconception. Now, let's apply the above understanding to the misunderstanding floating around out there about AI. Here's one example I hear a lot of. People still believe that using AI to learn is somehow cheating or that it makes the learning less real. But that idea comes from an older world where information was hard to get and learning meant searching libraries, waiting for newspapers, or digging through reference books. Today, information is everywhere. So, learning isn't about collecting facts, it's about knowing what to do with them. The biggest thing AI changed for me wasn't what I learned, but how I learned, and even more so, how I was able to apply what I learned to these ideas that I had. Here's what changed for me it removed friction. No more getting stuck for hours. It removed the fear of starting. You can test ideas safely. It removed the waiting, the instant feedback replies, the long pauses. That means you now have more options, more angles, more approaches, faster iteration, quicker corrections. Learning becomes faster, more playful, and honestly, more enjoyable. Okay, so here's my personal story. This was one of my very first questions I ever asked ChatGPT along this journey. And you can see it right here in this screenshot. But the question that I asked was, who are the biggest market movers today? It was a very simple surface level question. And honestly, this is exactly where most people start. You ask something straightforward, AI gives you something straightforward back. Nothing special, just curiosity and a very, very basic question that it was based on. Here's my mid stage of where I was in this project. Something really interesting happened, but I just kept going and going. My questions started to change. I wasn't just asking what happened anymore. I was asking why it happened, whether there was a pattern, and what I should be paying attention to. Now, here it is when I'm more on an advanced stage with this. Same topic, but deeper level thinking, and AI responded at that level. And really, without realizing it, the more I think about it, my questions eventually became much, much more structured. And at this point, I was asking things like, can you compare these across time? Can you model the relationships? Show me scenarios, show me logic. These aren't expert questions. They're just natural progression of someone who just kept iterating with AI. And that's the point. AI didn't make me smarter overnight. It just kept meeting me where I was, every step, every question, every iteration. That rise in complexity, that shift in how you think, not just what you ask, well, that is your arc. And it happens quietly, almost without noticing until you really kind of look back. That experience made something very obvious to me. Learning becomes much easier when the friction drops. Think about it. And it's not because the work is simpler. but it's really because you don't stay stuck long enough to lose your momentum. And this applies to everything: schoolwork, hobbies, job skills, language, writing, anything. If the time between trying and adjusting shrinks, you naturally learn a lot faster. Last time I challenged you to bring one real problem to AI, something that is real and is a problem, something that's also meaningful to you. So many of you messaged me saying, hey, I tried it and it changed something and it really made sense and resonated with them. That's great. So here's your second challenge: take what AI gives you and make it your own. Don't accept the first answer as you're interacting with AI. Don't copy and paste. Don't let AI finish the story for you. Shape it, question it, push it, go back and forth with it. That's where your arc rises. But today we took another step in the journey of the arc. If this helps you learn a little faster or feel a little more confident in your own AI journey, then we're heading in the right direction. As always, thank you all for attending this session. As we say in Hawaii, mahalo, and we'll see you all at the next episode.